Welcome to Live, Let, Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Myka and Steve.
Hello.
And welcome back to another exciting episode
Of Live,
Let
Thrive. What is up, Myka, man?
Chillin', Stevie Stacks. How you doing, man?
Just chilling, just busy day. Yeah, man. I just it's funny because, well, first of all, this is episode 230 of your favorite short-term, midterm, long-term PadSplit podcast in the world, coming at you from Fort Worth.
330.
Oh shit, we've been doing this for a long time. 330. Wow, that's a lot of episodes.
Straight up. Yeah, you said 230. I'm like, man, we're 100 past that.
That's a bunch, man.
For real, man. We're going to be at the full. We should hit. Nah, we probably won't hit 400 this year. We'll try.
400. What are you having to drink over there?
Just old Mike's Hard I had in the refrigerator. I was like, I guess take it out and drink it.
You know, it's funny. Cause I'm having me an adult beverage too. This is one of those shows, man. We hadn't done that in a minute, so this is gonna be fun.
You know what's funny about our adult shows where we drink on them? So I was at Noble's GovCon experience, man, and I ran into a fan of our show, Sean Costley. Shout out to Sean. He was like, "Yeah, man, I learned a lot on those Friday episodes, and you or Steve are throwing them back, man." I was like, so yeah, I was like, those are our famous episodes. So I guess this is one on a Wednesday.
They're unfiltered.
For real.
Yeah, man. Episode 330. Wow. Still coming at you from Fort Worth and Arlington.
Yes, sir.
I guess back in the day, it was Hearst and Arlington.
Hearst, then Arlington 100%.
Then Arlington and 100%.
Arlington, then Arlington.
Yeah, we did in-person events all the way through Arlington. That's true. Yeah. So we did in-person podcasts back in the Gap. We started at my little house in Hearst with the front room. That now it's a bedroom there because I'm turning that into a PadSplit.
Oh yeah, let's go.
And so I'm adding two more bedrooms on that one, and then plus turning the half bath into a full bath. So I got the renovations going on.
Let's go.
And we're gonna talk heavy about PadSplit today, of course. You know, because I'm all up in that. I love it. I'm trying to convince Myka to get him his first PadSplit because he's gonna be addicted. You know what I'm saying? And so
I'm gonna check it out. I'm kind of doing a PadSplit with my house hat. We'll see. We'll let you know.
Just dip your toes, man. And I sent you that text today about the earnings. So
that is, bro. Social media been blowing up about. Oh no. You're talking about the earnings from PadSplit. Yeah. Go into that.
Oh, the PadSplit earnings. So I sent Myka a text. So it's actually the first house I lived in, and it's not in the best area in Arlington. And let's say C-class area, but nice enough house built in the 50s or 60s. I don't know. It's been a minute. 4-bedroom, 2-bath house. I turned it. I've talked about it on the show, but I turned it into a 6-bedroom. And kept it 2-bath because the 3-to-1 ratio is pretty good. 3 bedrooms to 1 bathroom ratio is okay. Mm-hmm. Anyways, so that house, I sent Myka the thing. Now that it's completely full, got 6 bedrooms, 6 guests. Mm-hmm. It's pumping out over $4,350, and it's like a 1,500 square foot house in the hood, and not the best area. And I'm like, these are nice returns. These are nice returns, man. Especially if you can get houses like that in a not the best area, C-class neighborhood for a good price. You know what I'm saying? It's all about you make the money when you buy, they say, right?
Yeah.
So if you get a good price on something, let's say your mortgage all in with taxes and insurance and everything's around $1,500, and you're making $4,000. That's a pretty good return.
Yeah, can't beat that.
And you're not competing. You're not out there trying to buy the McMansions with the people with money. You're not trying to buy the starter homes in the nice areas with people, that want those. You're competing against C-class competition. You know what I'm saying? Because if someone's going to go buy let's say you bought in a neighborhood like that, and your mortgage all in is going to be around $1,500 if you know how much you put down and all that, and you're going to make, $1,700 a month. That's not really appealing to a lot of people, so they stay out of areas like that, right?
Yeah.
And but for pad splitters, that's the bread and butter areas.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm headed right now. I'm trying to do everything I can to scoop up as many as I can with owner finance.
Mm-hmm.
Staying away from the banks. I don't want to deal with no banks no more. So it's
Mm-hmm.
owner finance all the way. Everybody I talk to, that's into real estate or even dabbles is like, oh, are the rates gonna go down finally? Oh my God, please, Fed chairman, please. I don't give a shit about him. I don't give a shit about the rates. I'm dealing with
Man,
this person who wants to sell their house to me, owner finance.
that's what I tell people, man. You can get away from the rates. I mean, who cares about the rate? If you get a good deal, if you know how to do owner finance or get a good deal that even at the 7% you can cash flow, and if the rates dip, shit, that does nothing but help you. Either way is winning, bro. Straight up. Now, on your PadSplit, the one that you're talking about right now, how much are you charging per room?
It varies on the size of the room. So I would say between 700 and $800 a month for each room. Somewhere in
Each room?
between,
That ain't bad.
those. Yeah.
Okay. I
That,
was wondering.
and they get a place, it already come furnished, and they
Yeah.
get a place with, all bills paid, electricity and internet, everything, water. So it's all included. So
That ain't
you
bad.
gotta factor that in. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, if the spread is so far from, let's say, like I said, 1,500 to 4,300, if the spread's
Mhm.
like that, you got enough, wiggle room with the utilities to absorb that.
Yeah, straight up. Easy.
Just like
Dang.
Airbnbers, man. I bet there's a lot of Airbnbers listening to this and going, "Whoa, I wish my house made 4,300. My Airbnb made 4,300."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
'Cause-
Yeah.
yeah, and Airbnb is taking a hit right now.
Well, Airbnb is taking a chunk as always. We're gonna get into the Airbnb new updates, and
Bro.
don't even. There's some places, I know. Let's say 7% taxes, hot taxes, hotel occupancy taxes is base level. There's some places that's 9. There's some places that's like up to 15, depending on the city. You know what I'm saying? So,
Dallas is 9.
whew.
On top of them trying to take 15 off you. That's 20 something percent, bro.
Then you got property management on top of that. Woo!
That's 40%.
It's- and that's what shitties. That's what cities 40
That's what they are. That's exactly shitty.
That's what they should have done instead of doing all this legal battles and trying to ban it. Just tax the hell out of it. That's how government tells people what to do, is by taxation, right?
Man, we got some tax news too, man. So yeah, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about because all this is coming full circle, bro. But yeah, the PadSplit thing, I'm liking that, bro. I'm liking it because I think it's the future of where America has to go because of how we set up housing here. So like everyone has to go to compartmentalized living. PadSplits and tiny home communities. Tiny home communities are going to be the future of America. Watch. And the tiny homes are already popping up in Mansfield. They're clearing out acreages and just putting a bunch of tiny homes on them. Acreages. And so tiny homes and rooms, private rooms. That's where it's about to go, bro. Everybody's about to be looking like New York here shortly. Straight up, man.
Well, because they said, in America we built out,
Yeah.
instead of up.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so like going to I would go to New York back in the day with some friends, and we'd hang out and stay at certain friends' houses, and they I mean, there was one place we stayed. They were above a Dunkin' Donuts shop. Their apartment was right on top of a Dunkin'. It goes all the way up too. It's businesses down there, and then you're living on top of the businesses. And I smelled like Dunkin' Donuts for like a week afterwards, man. It's crazy.
Mixed use development, bro. Straight up.
Here, all the NIMBYs. Oh no, you can't build that here, and all this mixed use. We don't want that in my backyard. It's so much of that here, right?
Yeah. See, and the only place that I would say is really dove into that since I've been in Texas was Houston, because Houston ain't got no zoning laws, and I was like, damn, just do whatever the hell you want down there, bro. Like, if you ever like ride down the street in Houston, like you'll see like the turkey leg hut right next to some damn brand new apartments and everything. You're like, what the hell is this? Like, real. But when it was up. But yeah, it's just like you got this commercial right next to this residential. It's interesting to see.
People firing machine guns at the mall. Yeah, it's crazy over there.
Basically.
H-Town. But all that's what all the Airbnbers went there. Like, oh, there's no rules. Hell yeah. And then everybody lost their ass.
Yeah. I'm hearing H-Town's bouncing back, man. I heard it's bouncing back. My boy Mike told me. He was like, yeah, bro, we're bouncing back. I was like, damn. So it's always those markets.
It's cycles, man. It's cycles.
Yeah, it's cycles.
So you want to talk about the new Airbnb updates, man? You've been sending me some text messages about it. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, so basically, if you're using a property management platform, they're charging the full 15% to you.
Ooh.
So basically, just raise your prices by 15%. If you have like Hostfully or a property management platform, you could just say, hey, Airbnb prices, make sure they're listed 15% higher. But you brought up an interesting point. You talked about property management companies, and property management companies are going to have to get a little bit better at what they do. And some of them you might start to see property management companies start to kind of tilt downwards because of the new tax bill Trump just passed. I talked about this on my last solo ep. The cost.
Yeah, listen to that. That was a good ep. I was listening to that.
Yeah. The 100% bonus depreciation is back. So cost segs are back. So I wasn't gonna do it, right? I was just like, whatever. And then like I told the story, I'd asked my manager for a raise like a few months back, and I didn't think about it. I was like, hey, because I have a one-on-one meeting with him every month, and he was like, yeah, they're working on it, man. So Mahogany ends up getting a raise at her job. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And then they called me in, and they slid me a piece of paper. They're like, hey, this is what we're raising you up to. And I was like, oh, shit. I looked, and I was a little bit higher than what I expected. I was like, oh, okay. So I was like,
it was
okay,
higher than you expected.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, oh, dang. But then I was like, we did pretty good on our short-term rental business and our management company this year. I'm like, oh, man, I'm going to have to write some stuff off. So that's when I bought that duplex. I bought that, and then we furnished it. And, that was a bit of a write-off, but I still had a little bit more to write off. And then the 1031 company that I used to 1031 the property, they were like, hey, we're giving free cost-seg benefit analysis to anyone that does a 1031 with us. And it was free. So I'm like, it's free, whatever. And they were like, yeah, you can write off $95,000 year one. I'm like, damn. So I was like, okay. And the guy, I talked to him, he was like, yeah. And he goes, if all your other properties are short-term, we'll go back 10 years and cost seg those too. I was like, dang. And he was like, you can just choose to do one a year, so you can just keep doing it. So I'm going to go ahead and do a cost seg on the duplex. It's going to be easier on the duplex because I can, I don't like short term, but I was like, I could do short term for like 3 months because you have to have an average stay of like 7 days. And then you also have to, you can't do midterms because of, if it goes over 7 days, you're disqualified if your average stays over 7 days. And
well, that's for bonus depreciation, right?
Yeah. That's for bonus depreciation.
Yeah. Because you can still cost seg anything. You can cost seg any property. But what you're referring to is like when to get that extra bonus depreciation because it's actively managed property.
Correct.
Like a short-term rental. Then you have to, it has to be rented below 30 days, under 30 days, right?
Under 7. Average of 7.
Under 7 days. Oh, okay. That's fine. Yeah, and then most of us would qualify for that, I would believe.
Yeah. No. Midterm, you'd probably be marked out.
Because, I mean, I'm saying if you're Airbnb or...
Yeah. If you're 100% Airbnb, easily qualify for that. Right, so I was like, okay, cool. Let me go ahead and, do that. And plus, you can't have a management company. It has to be you have to show that you're actively managing it. I was like, okay, let me try it out. And then I saw the tax savings on it. I was like, dang. So I was like, let me go ahead and try this out. So,
but doesn't your management company manage your Airbnbs?
Yeah. See, and I asked him about that. I'm like, I have a management company. He goes, do you own it? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, well, it's yours. Okay. He goes, you're managing it. Okay,
cool.
And, that's what I was asking too. But our minds in the same place. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah. So he's like, yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a cost seg and then get the bonus depreciation and all that stuff. Finish this up and then see what it does for me. But yeah, it's just one of those things where you just got to be able to go with the flow. I tell people, luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of a luck thing I lucked into. But yeah, Airbnb's fees are going up to like, if you use a property management platform, up to like 15%. And then I think you make a good point. If a city's charging you 9% and then a property management charging you 20%, property management companies might start, if people, I don't know if people really want to get into self-managing though. That's the only thing. I don't even think they have the systems to do it, and they don't want to get the systems to do it.
Hmm.
Because
Okay.
I'm doing a campaign right now to increase my property management business and like get a few more under, and like people just don't want to do it, and it's just like the tax savings. Some people like screw the tax savings. I just want a property that makes me a few dollars here and there every month. So I was like, cool.
Yeah, some people are cool, even breaking even, man. They just want the tax benefits, right?
Yeah, exactly. Some people really do. Um,
So yeah, that's a big thing. I love the cost seg and a real quick thing on what we didn't even we assume people know all this stuff, but what it
no.
is you do a cost segregation study on a piece of property you buy, right?
Mhm.
And they go in there and they count everything in that thing. It's not just because you can do your own what's it called, depreciation study on your
Yeah.
own house,
Mhm.
and you do the one on the forums that's real simple, but it's not as extensive as these guys. These guys are engineers. They'll go in
Yeah.
there, they'll count every screw that's used, every nail that's used, every piece of wood, every plank of hardwood flooring. I mean, they go in and from something that you could have wrote off, let's just say $50,000 on a house, they're gonna go in and find $100,000 worth of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Basically.
So that's first the thing, and then the other thing, the bonus depreciation that you can take off the first year. Yeah, that's like I said. If you're gonna write off $100,000 on a house, you could take all 100,000 on the first year. So if you made on your Airbnbs, if you made $100,000 in profit that year, you really made $0 because you can write off $100,000 on that one house purchase.
Straight up.
So that's a powerful thing, and that's what rich people have been doing forever. They say rich people don't pay taxes, right? They'll buy a big old apartment complex or skyscraper or something and write off all that depreciation year one, right? And then they'll make
Yep.
$0 and they'll pay $0 in taxes and they'll buy another one the next year. The thing is, you get addicted to you have to buy another property every
Yeah.
single year.
Mhm.
Otherwise, once the music stops, you got to pay taxes.
Straight up. Yeah,
You
man.
know?
And that's what people don't understand. There's power in that though, man. Just keep offsetting your taxes. And right now, if you can do that and keep buying right now, if you get a good deal, you can't lose, bro. You can't lose. It's a good place to be in.
Yeah, I mean, you could always lose.
Yeah. I mean,
Everybody can fuck something up, right?
you can lose, but there's the only thing you can lose. It's a loss is only a learning lesson if you have the mentality. And I wanted to talk about mindset today because I'm starting to notice like everyone's mindset around like everything that's going on in regards to like the tax bill. I don't know. It seems like a lot of millennials just feel like they can't do stuff, and I'm just like, why do y'all feel like that? Y'all have the internet. You have ChatGPT to do half your damn work for you. Like, what are you like? I'm for real. I be looking at people like, what don't you
No
feel like you can
excuses.
do?
No
For real, it
excuses.
ain't no excuses nowadays. But yeah, man, I say if you have a positive mindset, try some new stuff, man. Just try it and you know, take the good with the bad. Keep on rolling. Because I don't know if you've finished my whole last episode. That's what I was talking about, man. They called us back into the office full time. So like, yeah, they gave me a raise, and they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, everyone's coming back to the office full time." I'm like,
Mm,
"Oh,
ain't nothing for free in life.
hey, straight up, bro." So yeah, they're like, so they sent the email out to the entire department. I think 2 days ago, and they're like, "Yeah, well, we'll just make it so you have 4 days in the office and 1 day at home." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "We'll see how that works out." So. Yeah, I was like, what? So I just started looking at the positive in it. I'm like, okay, maybe I can go to the gym a little bit more because I was a little bit more consistent with the gym when I was going to the office. So
Yeah,
finding the small things.
there you go. Speaking of that, real quick, the no excuses thing, and my kids, they love YouTube, those freaking YouTube family shows. I don't know, you
Man.
probably your kids too. Everybody,
Yeah.
and I look at this thing, and there's this one that's called the Nastya. It's like a
Hmm.
Little Russian girl, but they're Russian American. Her
Hmm.
parents are from Russia. I actually looked into this because I'm like, these videos are cheesy. They're running
Yeah.
around and their parents doing stupid stuff, but my kids freaking can't get enough of it, right? And then they
Yeah.
put the sound effects and they chop it up all cool and sleek and everything. And then they're trying out all these toys. Of course, all these companies send them all these toys to try out
Yep.
all that shit. So they're getting paid to play with toys. They're sending them to Disneyland. They're sending them to Disney World. They're sending them to resorts and to try out a resort because they know they're getting a lot of views.
Yeah.
And all these kids are watching it. Mama, I want to go to Disneyland. Please take us. They're gonna start saying that, right? And so, anyways, and speaking, going back to the no excuses thing, the early episodes were dubbed over because I think these people were from Russia. They didn't even speak English, right? So
Oh,
they did their whole shows in Russian. They paid for someone to do the voiceovers for them. So all the shows are like dubbed over. So they didn't speak English, and they're making hundreds of millions of dollars on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So there's no
crazy,
damn
bro.
excuses for anybody out there that's living here in the United States to go out there and make some money, to get
None.
that money.
None, bro. There's no excuse, bro. Like you can try something. Straight up.
I just thought about that today. I was like, man, they didn't even speak English and they're making millions off the freaking YouTube, man.
Straight up,
They found a
man.
way. They found a
Found a
way.
way. Because they were dedicated. It was the mindset. They was like, we ain't about to lose.
I'm gonna find someone to dub our show in Chinese so we can get all them Chinese listeners.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Straight up, man. Well, I don't know. What's his name just said can't nobody buy land over here. Our
Who said-
governor.
Oh,
he just signed it in law. Foreign entities can't buy land in Texas, boy.
why would he do that? Oh, who knows?
I haven't said nah, this is for America, but I don't know.
Okay. Oh yeah. Did you dive into the Airbnb updates?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay. You
talked
did the
about
15%, and then here's the big one.
Okay.
What was the and you told me this, that chargebacks, which were always an issue with Booking.com, right? 'Cause we're supposed to collect the money our damn selves, right? Booking.com.
Yep.
Or even using your own website, whatever. You got to protect yourself from
Yeah.
these people that say, oh, I never stayed there. I call fraud. They call their credit card company. Someone stole my credit card and somebody charged a bunch of stuff on it at an Airbnb, blah, blah, blah. And then we get shut.
Yeah.
Well, not
Gotta hold
Airbnb
it back.
because Airbnb would protect us from that stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Straight up.
Booking.com say you're on your own. Call up Stripe. Stripe will say we're going to shut down your account and freeze $5,000 of your money. Also,
Yeah.
Stripe didn't give a damn, and so it was hard. And
Yeah.
I remember Mike Brown telling us a long time ago that he had visual camera evidence of this person checking into his place, and they
Yeah.
still denied him and said nope,
Yep.
sorry, and they didn't
Yeah.
get paid for the whole long ass stay. And so chargebacks. You're telling me that Airbnb is no longer going to protect us from chargebacks.
That's what it was saying and even in this update, they're saying like, yeah, if they're complaining about something and if there's a chargeback that it's now stuck on, you're going to have to pay the fee. Now, this is what I was thinking. I think that gives us a glimpse into the short-term rental as a whole. So the only way Airbnb was eating those chargeback costs if it was backed by insurance, right? So maybe those insurance costs started getting into Airbnb's pockets. They're like, nah, forget that. We're passing that on to the host. So now I think they're in a situation where maybe that's giving us an insight into the short-term rental market. That's why the PadSplits, the midterm rentals are really the place to be right now. Because I'm loving the short-term rental, midterm rental, like the combination of it. It's been working really well. And like I can manipulate my calendar in certain ways to attract those reservations. So yeah, I think that's more of like, let's look at the insights of how is the short-term rental market really doing? And not only how is it really doing, but is it viable while everybody's bragging about this big tax bill? Is it viable in the long run? Because I think a lot of people are about to get into short-term rentals for the tax benefits. So there you go. You're going to have a whole new slew of hosts that are doing it for tax benefits, but they really don't want to do it, don't really want to learn it, and they may be one of those people in for a few months, out the next. Because right now you can get the bonus depreciation for run it as a short term for 3 or 4 months now, collected, and then January 1st turn it into a midterm or a short term, short term together. But I don't know if them people are going to do that. So it's interesting that Airbnb is doing that.
I'll push against that a little bit. I'll say I don't think this is okay because of the big beautiful tax bill and the cost-seg, 100% bonus depreciation. I don't think it's going to turn a whole bunch of people into Airbnbers or turning their homes into Airbnbs. I think you do want to do it or you don't want to do it. Just from what I've seen, 'cause I've known people at work that have regular rentals and they've had them for a while. They're cool with having 1, 2, maybe 3, and they're good. long-term rentals. They don't want to do no Airbnb. They don't want to rock the boat. They don't want partiers in their house. I don't think this tax bill that's coming, now I might be totally wrong. I don't think it's going to change their mind because this bonus depreciation, this 100% bonus depreciation, it was happening a few years ago. And
look how many people hopped in.
Well, I think people hopped into Airbnb because of the popularity and it was growing and people with grandma's furniture in their house were making 5,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? I think it was because of that and all the influencers started talking about it, and that led a whole bunch of people into it. But fuckload of people hopped out of it too because they lost their asses.
True, but listen to Carlton Denise and all these CPAs, bro. I'm like, I be listening to him on Bigger Pockets. He was like, what's going to happen? He goes, you're going to see a surge of short-term rentals of people that don't even need it and don't want to do it. But they know, because we have to also look at who are we talking about? We talking about people that's running mom and pop shops or some dude that makes $200,000 a year and I need to write that shit off. You see what I'm saying? Like I was doing a room for my mentor the other day and I was talking to this dude out in San Francisco. He's like, yeah, man, I'm getting like 160 some thousand a month. I'm like, oh, well, you're in a different tax bracket. He's like, yeah. So he started asking about the bonus depreciation. So I think those people will, but the other people who don't want to rock the boat, like you said, yeah, they probably ain't gonna do it. Because I was one of those people. I was like, man, I ain't about to do this. But then somebody puts a free, hey, well, here's this free analysis. I can tell you what you're gonna save, and then I see it and I start seeing dollar signs. I'm like, oh, well, hold on. So yeah, I don't think the mama pops, like you said, the people that ain't going to rock the boat. I don't think so. But I could definitely see a lot of people hopping in. Because even, remember the story I told you about the guy who was telling me about the HVAC big companies being bought? The only reason I ran into him was because his mom was selling her business and she wanted to hop in for the bonus depreciation. But she had a bunch of cash on her hands. So I think it's those people that will. But there's a lot of those people out there, man, especially people buying up businesses and people having sitting on chunks of cash. So it just depends on, I think it's the audience, the target market of it.
No, I will say, I forgot who hopped on our show a long time ago. It was a dude out of California. I think he was a doctor. He worked in the medical industry of California, and then he started snapping up big houses. He started doing Airbnb out of big houses, like in the Midwest and Tennessee. Man, I forget his name. I wanted to say Kent He, but I don't think it's Kent He.
Kentson. I just talked to Kent the other day.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man.
Yeah.
He's still doing the bachelorette party stuff.
Yeah, he is. He's in Arizona.
He found his niche.
Okay, so
what
happened?
Yeah, this guy was in the medical industry. He's another Asian dude. That's why I was thinking of Kent He, but it was another Asian dude. But he and he still had his medical job. But he was out buying properties every year, buying these big houses out there. Like I said, Tennessee.
Oh, I know you're talking about. I talked about him the other day. I know you're talking about. Keep going. I know you're talking about.
Anyways, what he said was he got he was a big bigger pocket fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he found that lady who's out in California too, that accountant lady, the Asian lady will come on.
Alex Sabio.
There it is, Alex Sabio.
Yeah.
He was the one that hopped on our show. He's a great dude. But he got the accountant from Bigger Pockets. He called her up, right?
Oh, okay.
And I think she's out in Cali too. Either he saw her in person or he called her up and he's explaining to her, I'm making all this money. He's making a buttload of money in the medical industry, and he started, I want to buy rentals and this and that, but I need some write-offs because we're making both of them worked, him and his wife, and they're making a shitload of money. And California going to take half your money or more. So they needed some write-offs fast. And she said, how about you turn one of your rentals into a short-term rental? He's like, and he's like, what do you mean? Like the Airbnb, go back to that episode. But she's like, yeah, that's what I mean. He goes, why would I do that? I don't want to think about it. I'm working so much. He goes, well, if you do that, you can write off 100% bonus depreciation. And you can take all that money and counter your income with it, your rental income. And so that's why he started doing it.
Yeah.
And he even explained on the show, every year I have to buy at least one house so I could take that big chunk of bonus depreciation, out year one and then counter our money that we're making on the rentals.
Yeah.
And so that conversation with his CPA directly,
Yeah.
inspired him to do it. So I don't know how many of those conversations are going to happen. Maybe a bunch. Maybe me and you with our management companies will say, "Hey, rich people, I'll run your Airbnb for you." You know.
Well, that's the thing. They can't. That's the thing. They don't get it if we manage it.
Oh shit.
That's what I've been saying. They don't get it if we manage it.
We'll co-host. We'll co-host it.
You can't show any on your tax line. You can't show you're paying anybody to do any type of management service. You could play a cleaning. Now, we could be the cleaning company that you pay 20% to. Now, I don't know. See, that's okay. No, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Now, that's one thing. I'm pretty sure there's a savvy ass CPA out there that done figured this out, right? Like, okay, you don't want to, you can't manage it, but let's just say you play your cleaning company 20% to clean your business, clean up your places. Now, I don't know if this is legit, but I'm pretty sure somebody's out there working on it. Like, hold on, man. If I can't manage it, what if my cleaning company charges me 20%? So I don't know.
When next time you're in the hood, when you're driving through the hood, right? And you see the Statue of Liberty with the sign saying "We'll do your taxes," dancing around, go in there. They probably know all the ins and outs.
Straight up. State was it New York Liberty? What is it called? Liberty Tax Advantage.
No, they'll shut down the rest of the year, but they'll be open for tax season.
For real. But that is one thing. That's kind of what I was touching on. I'm like, if something like, dang, because that's what I was saying. The people are getting into it, but they don't want to do it. So, and shout out to, Avery and Luke Carl, right? Mm-hmm. The short-term shop. That's where their business is so powerful is they will help you choose a short-term rental market, but teach you how to manage it yourself. So a lot of those people are going over there. Like my friend, I told them, I'm like, go to the short-term shop. I'm like, they're the ones because they're going to teach you how to self-manage it. But the people that don't want to self-manage it, I think those are the ones who don't want to self-manage at all. The bonus depreciation thing, they're probably like, hell no, I don't want it. But I mean, like in Alex's situation, hey man, you got a bunch of shit you got to write off. Then yeah, you kind of end up in that situation. So it's gonna be interesting, bro. It's gonna be real interesting, because whenever there's tax breaks, somebody about to figure out a way to figure it out and then create more tax breaks. So we'll figure. Somebody's gonna figure it out.
Yep, the Statue of Liberty in the hood gonna figure it out for you. Now I recently, so bad cleaners, right?
Oh,
we'll go. We'll hop on that a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So and I should have learned my lesson a long time ago, but it's always very tempting when you find an opportunity that's going to save you a lot of money doing business, right?
Yeah.
It's always tempting. Not always a good idea to do it, but you're like, okay, let me give this a shot.
Yeah.
So these are like the houses that I have as arbitrage and the ones that I own that I do Airbnb out of and corporate, whatever. And so I've had the same cleaners for a while. And once you get with a cleaner for a while, the prices start creeping up, and then you like are they missing things? They can't take the trash. They're gonna do an upcharge for that, this and that. It gets a little costly if you don't check it, right? And so, but as long as they're doing a great job and you're getting good reviews, that's should be all that matters. But I understand inflation and all that stuff, and people need to get paid more. But friend of a friend said they're using a cleaner and this and that, and then we just started getting a conversation, and they said, and I said, well, how do y'all handle the trash out of houses? I know Grand Prairie, all of a sudden they started getting real strict about that, and they're talking about fines and shutting you down if you're putting the trash out at the wrong times and all this stuff. Right. And so it's just out of the blue, they just started really cracking down on the trash thing, and I was like, damn it, And how do y'all handle that? Because okay, there's the can monkey thing, where they take the bins to the curb, but the thing at Grand Prairie is bags. You put the bags on the curb, you know what I'm saying? And
dude,
so
that's how Richardson is, bro.
And then the animals get into it and rip it up, and you just try. It's stupid. Yeah, and so anyway, so that didn't really help me so much. And my cleaners, they're always either in a hurry or they have little cars. They're not gonna put it in their little cars. And I was just thinking, man, how do y'all do the trash? I don't want to pay $20 each time I want someone to take out my trash. Or this one cleaner was like, oh, if there's a lot of trash, we'll take it to the dump. It's gonna be $100 charge. I was like, God dang. I was like, this trash thing is eating me alive. So the friend I was talking to said, well, my cleaner takes the trash every time. I said, really? I was like, they take it with them? He's like, yeah, they take it with them. I was like, oh shoot, let me talk to them. And I talked to them, and a local person in Grand Prairie, and he said, yeah, we'll take it every time, and then he goes, we'll start doing your houses if you want us to try one, or and I let them try one house, and they're doing a good job taking the trash with them, and it was a lot less, dude. It was like, I mean, let's just say a cleaning fee around was usually 225. He said, I'll do it for like 125. I'll clean your house. I said, sounded too good to be true, right? And they did a decent job the first one. Took all the trash with them. I didn't have to worry about that. He said, hey, $10 or more each clean, then I'll even stock your place with supplies. Right? So I was like, damn, I'm getting supplies too. This is too good to be true. And
It's hard to sound like a company, I know, but go ahead.
We'll talk off the air.
Yeah, I ain't gonna talk about that company, but go ahead.
So yeah, they were offering all these services for free that I was paying a lot of money for. And I was like, this is cool, man. You take all my houses. Take all my houses. Anyways, so I started getting, they started slipping. People getting there saying the whole garage is full of trash, and the stuff ain't clean, and started getting a couple bad reviews. I was like talking to, oh, I handle it. I'll go over there and handle it. And he handled a few, and then he got to the point where he said, oh, I'm gonna go over there and handle the situation, and then he didn't show up. And the next day, hey, you didn't go do that thing that the people were waiting for you. Oh, a family emergency. There was a few too many of those family emergencies, and so. But he got one of my houses shut down because of the bad reviews. So I went cheap. Here's the thing: what do they say? It's expensive to go cheap. So I went cheap, and I ended up getting one of my big producers in high season, a pool house, get shut down because of this. Yeah, it sucked, dude. And I had to figure out a way because it's harder to get a backup listing, up and running nowadays because they have all their softwares where they can detect if you're using the same exact pictures that they'll get you. You know what I'm saying? Airbnb will get you. And so I'm here like on VRBO. I even started a booking.com account again. I was desperate, man. I started booking.com up again, and then of course all these scammers trying to book it off booking. I was like, oh man, I guess y'all ain't never changed, man. And so, but I was able to get an account up again, you know what I'm saying? And luckily, and I'm getting it booked again. But I had to fire it. I was like, man, I'm sorry, dude, you just messed up too much. You got some accounts like hanging by a thread. Now you got an account shut down, and it's just, if it sounds too good to be true, it's not true, man. And it's tempting. You're gonna save all this money. I'm gonna save hundreds, but you end up losing thousands.
You know what's funny about what you just said? You were trying to cut costs, and it backfired, right? Dude, so okay, the other day I was looking at my books, and I was like, dang, we got this new duplex up. We had to spend money to get it furnished. I'm like, where can I cut some costs, right? So it's the power of AI. I took all my stuff. And I was like, hey, like all my money I was making, all the money we just put up. And I was like, hey, tell me what should I do to increase income and where can I cut costs? And it like broke it down. It said at this point in your business, you shouldn't cut costs because the cost that you cut would probably mess with performance. Ooh. So instead, what you should do is look to get a few more management clients and then reassess the business after you get more management clients. I was like, damn. So man, you could, ChatGPT be hitting every time, bro. If you give it the right data, man, it hits every time. So that's when I was like, okay, I told it, create me a campaign to get more management clients. And it gave me a 7-step action plan right here, actually. STR growth binder. It gave me a 7-step action plan. We printed it out, and it says, this is what you need to do. Strengthen your brand and visibility. Go network with out-of-state investors. local property owners, developers. It gave like the full rundown and gave a 12-step check plan to how to do it. I was like, dang. So like as soon as you start talking about that cleaning issue, I'm like, oh man, I know what you mean. You're trying to cut costs, but it dipped into performance. So I know exactly what you mean, bro. Yeah, because right now our cleaners are really good. We have really good cleaners, but I just don't ever want them to be spread too thin. That's why I will always like to develop a relationship with your cleaners. I would say take them out to eat, talk to them, chop it up with them, and just be like, look, if you ever feel like, you're overwhelmed or you need to step back or we need to find a backup, like a backup company, or if you want to start, we'll even help you build your business up. You know what I mean? So building those relationships is tough because it sounds like he was probably overwhelmed, couldn't do it, and got in over his head, So, and then now you done built your whole business around this dude, and man, he done left trash in your garage. So yeah, bro, it happens, bro.
That's and it's all about it's all about mindset, like you said, because I didn't even think about something like that. Because it's a trip that ChatGPT picked that up.
Mm-hmm.
And we're looking, like I said, we want to save money, and it brings me back like to what something that Brandon Turner and those guys would say.
Mm-hmm.
There's a limit to how much you can cut out to try to be thrifty and save in life. There's a limit. You can't just run around naked, no house, no car. There's like a baseline limit to how
Mm-hmm.
much you can cut out of your life to save money, to be frugal. But there's no limit on how much money you can make.
Yeah.
And I was like, and when you said that about ChatGPT, I was like, man, that's so true. Instead of me trying to, I got to save, a few $100 and these cleanings are getting, high, or having to, take the trash, I got to figure the problem out. Why don't I get 2 or 3 more units to manage,
Mm-hmm.
or even arbitrage, or houses
Yeah.
to buy, and that's gonna make me, $3,000 more a month. That's way more than trying to cut out a few $100, and then the whole business is hurt because of it.
Straight up.
I was
Straight
like,
up.
wow, ChatGPT is deep.
Yeah, it does, man. It is, bro. Because like I was in the same boat. I'm like, man, maybe if I cut this, and I'm like, oh, if I cut this, but then I'm like, it broke it down. It's like, nah, but what about your performance? Because now you have to look at the performance of your own properties and the performance of the people you're managing for. If their performance dips, that's on you. You got it now. You're the one holding the integrity bag on that and how you operate your business. So, yeah, bro, you got to always assess. Okay, if I cut this, how's my performance going to be?
Yeah,
And yeah,
just like Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. I mean, why pay Market Parsons when you can just have some, college guys that, free agents in there to play defense for you?
or why even win at all when I know how to market the Cowboys to where y'all gonna watch them regardless.
There you
For
go.
real, for real. Like I tell people always ask why is the Dallas Cowboys America's team? Because of Jerry Jones. That's why. Dude knows what to say to get everybody on board to think the Cowboys are gonna win.
Mm.
He
Yep,
does.
he dropped that Netflix show right before the season, because I was already like, F them Cowboys, man. I ain't watching this crap this year. Now I can't wait to watch.
For real, bro. He made his own Hard Knocks on Netflix, bro.
A harder knocks,
For
man.
real, man.
He went back to the glory years.
yeah, because I tell people this all the time. This is the only thing you can ever say about the Cowboys. You can say, oh, the Cowboys suck, right? The Cowboys are one of the only teams in the NFL that can suck, but everybody's still going to watch them.
Mm-hmm.
The Cleveland Browns can't do that.
No.
The New England Patriots ain't been doing it. They lost Brady and Belichick. Oh, well, they done.
Yep. See you at 12 o'clock.
Straight up. Straight up. I'm like, bro, the Cowboys can go get Jerry Jones can run the winning side of it into the ground, but he knows how to market it, bro. He markets it like Jerry Jones is a modern day pimp. That dude be selling crap, selling wolf tickets, and everybody buy it every year. Like, yeah, baby, I'm gonna get you off this corner. Hell no, man.
Give me that money.
For real, Jerry Jones pimping all the way to the bank, bro.
Now go on, get.
For real, man. Jerry Jones is the Mac.
Oh man, yeah. How did we get to Jerry Jones? Oh yeah. We're talking
Come up
about
business operations, man.
saving
See how we
money.
know how to tie it all together.
Save it. And even that was a pit move too. He's like, Micah, I'm gonna make you the highest paid defensive player of all time.
Mhm.
And give you all this money. Well, let me talk to my agent. Why you need an agent for? Just sign the damn papers, man. What the hell? You don't need no agent.
Straight up, man. I'm your agent. Straight up, man. And that's like, hey, but his performance always works, man. It always works, man. Straight up.
Well, not for winning Super Bowls.
Not for winning Super Bowls, but for selling tickets. He knows how to do it.
I just wish he would stick to that side of it and not the GM side of it.
Yeah, when he passes it on, I think his son will do a lot better. I think his son will make him so they'll win. I think his son kind of sees it, but he's like, Jerry's at the end of the road. I'm gonna let him ride this one out. So I'm thinking, no, for real, like I'm gonna let him ride it out, man. Go and do what you do, Dad.
Well, they were mad. His sons were mad when they paid Dion all that money.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, I mean, according to the Netflix show. Sorry, we're detouring, guys, but we
it's about money. It's about business.
About money.
Bro.
It's about business.
Yeah, it's about business. Man. You gotta like you. Okay, I can use another sports analogy the same way. When you're about business, you have to understand what's going on. I brought this up on a TikTok, and this guy just didn't get it. I was like, the Phoenix Suns went and paid their player Devin Booker all that money. Like they paid him more than they just paid SGA. SGA just won a championship. He just won the Finals MVP, the MVP, and a championship. Like, bro, we ain't seen a player do all three of those in 1 year, like probably since Jordan, I would assume, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they paid him SGA all this money, and they gave Devin Booker a little more. I'm like, why would you give him more money? The market doesn't even fit that, and he ain't done jack crap in Phoenix. And you've given Devin Booker everything he's needed to win. You've given Kevin Durant, you've given him Bradley Beal, you've given him Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton. It don't work. You have to be aware of the decisions you make, especially in business. Is this decision really worth the company and what you're doing? Now, what are you about to do? You're about to pay him all that money, and guess what? Y'all ain't going to be winning nothing, and y'all ain't the type of city or have the type of owner that's about to put asses in seats. That's what Jerry Jones knows he knows how to do. I can run this into the ground as far as winning, but I know how to put asses in seats, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And it works every time.
And you said that's from a scarcity mindset, right?
Yes, it's from scarcity, bro.
Yeah, so scarcity mindset. And what an article I read today, and it's interesting enough we talk about AI, right? Because at the end of this article, it said this article we pretty much said it without saying it, but it was written by AI, and then what's it called? Editor proofread it, made sure everything was good. I'll read how exactly it said it, but I was like, AI wrote this shit. It's a damn good article. But anyways. It talked about there's a movie, and like I said, we're going everywhere on this show because it's one of them shows, Micah.
Yeah, one of them shows.
One of them shows. And so there's a big popular movie that came on Netflix. I don't know if your kids watched it, but it's called K-pop Demon Hunters, or if you heard about it.
I've seen it. My kids haven't watched it, but I've seen it.
Okay. Anyways, my niece, we're all hanging out at my dad and stepmom's house over there in Keller, and my niece put it on, and all the kids were in there and watching. I was like, what the hell is this? K-pop Demon Hunters? What a weird title, right? K-pop band, girl band. It was a girl band. Mm-hmm. And they're out there fighting demons and shit. And I was like, this is weird, Yeah. The kids were captivated. They freaking loved that movie, right? Mm. Anyways, fast forward, it became the most viewed Netflix movie of all time. K-pop Demon Hunters. It's like a cartoon kind of deal, and Sony made it. Sony made the movie, and it's so popular. It went from Netflix, and they did like a this past weekend a limited release showing in theaters, a K-pop Demon Hunters sing along. And so they have the letters on the screen, and the girls are all packing the theaters, and they made millions off of that shit, right? And just, I mean, this thing became like this huge phenomenon, dude. And it had 4 of the songs from the movie top the top 10 of the music charts. Damn. You go to Spotify, they're probably still on there. And so it's good music. The movie was actually pretty good. I've watched it a bunch of times with my daughters. But anyways, long story short. This article I read, it was in Fortune magazine, right?
Yeah.
Online. But it said that Sony, made the movie, and it was around COVID times when they were shopping it around, and Netflix said, they'll buy the movie. And so it cost Sony about 100 million to make this thing, it was a good movie.
Okay.
It cost them 100 million, it made a real good movie. But Sony don't have like a real good strong distribution arm, right?
Yeah.
So they said, well, and it was right coming out of COVID. Nobody was going to the movies no more, and they're like, well, I don't know, we can't release this, or we'll just get it to Netflix is going to pay us a nice chunk of change for it. We'll make around $20 million on the deal. They profit. That's pretty good profit, right? For this movie, made it for 100, going to make 120. And when you give it to Netflix, when Netflix buys it, they own all the rights to it, right? 100%. And so they bought it, and then it came out this, I guess they finished it. They finished the movie. It came out this year, and Netflix released it, right? And it just took off. It just grew and grew and grew and became this huge phenomenon, right? And it's like I said, the most viewed freaking Netflix movie of all time. And so not so they own this thing. They already made their money back like 10, 20 fold. But they now they have the rights. If they is there going to be a sequel made, Netflix owns that. If there's going to be any more movie releases or music or whatever merchandise, and merchandise go crazy. They're going to be live shows. They're going to go around town and doing the K-pop bands are going to be playing out this. They're talking billions of dollars.
Abundance mindset.
This movie is going to make billions, billion as dollars. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
Sony was kind of nervous, kind of scared. They didn't have distribution channels set in place, and they said, "Well, we'll just take the safe. We'll take the safe money."
Yep.
And then Netflix, they said, "Oh, we'll take a bet on this thing." And man,
You know
billions.
it's funny because I'm gonna tie this all back together. What you just said. Sony had a scarcity mindset, and when I talked to ChatGPT about like what was going on in my business, it really just unlocked like, dang, I was operating off scarcity instead of off abundance.
Mm.
ChatGPT was operating off abundance. Like, no, just go get more management clients. You
Mm.
have the operation to do it. You've been doing this a long time. You can go get more clients. I'm like, damn. So yeah, people, you have to, when you operate off scarcity, you hold yourself back because you're not even realizing the potential that's in yourself of the abundance because you're not looking at it from abundance. Yeah, you have to have an abundance mindset, man. It'll definitely hold you back. So yeah.
I keep hearing this book being thrown around. It's called like Unmatched Hospitality or
I've been hearing it too.
What's it
Brandon
called?
Turner's podcast. Something hospitality.
Unreason. I don't know.
Unreasonable hospitality.
Yeah, like
I
just
think that's
like
the name of it.
over the
Yeah.
top. That's what it's saying.
Yeah.
It's over the top hospitality, whatever.
Yeah.
And it talks about what chain is that? I don't know. I want to say the Four Seasons or one of those big chains that's
Yes.
known for
Four
their
Seasons
hospitality.
Hotel. Yep.
Yeah, one of those. And so if we get it wrong, we're drunk, guys. So don't worry about it. So. And by we, I mean me. You're drinking a hard lemon drink. I'm drinking a hard drink. That's one of those weeks, man.
Yeah.
So anyways, that book goes into like, going above and beyond with the customer service. And I remember hearing excerpts about that particular hotel chain and saying they had a client that was going to staying in England, but he loved to read the New York Times every morning. This is like back
Yeah.
in the newspaper days, And so they found a way to get him the New York Times there every morning waiting for him. And it wasn't so easy back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Now, well, of course it's all internet now, but
Yeah.
but now, even the New York Times was everywhere in the country or whatever, or everywhere in the world. It spanned out, but they found a way to get this thing like shipped to him to be ready at his door. And they didn't charge him they didn't charge him no extra for it,
Yep.
but they just went out of the way to with exemplary customer service. But what did that do? That's who they were, right?
Mhm.
That's who they were, and so they weren't afraid to spend money to maintain that. They weren't saying, we'll just get them a regular, newspaper close by here. No. They spent money. They weren't afraid to spend money. They didn't look to where they could take shortcuts and then cut. And so, but that made them who they were, and that made them the most, sought after place to stay.
That's exactly what it is, man. Unreasonable hospitality. There's two places that will always remind me of that go above and beyond. Chick-fil-A and Safeway. They their customer service, they go above and beyond no matter what, even if it costs them extra money. Like Safeway, they got I haven't been there in a long time, but I'm gonna assume they don't have the self checkout. They have somebody bagging your groceries up for you and will walk you to your car. That's unheard of nowadays, right?
Right.
But guess what? You're the only one doing it. People love that. People love that interaction, that especially because older people are usually going to be there. They want somebody to talk to.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I remember when I used to walk people out to the car when I worked at Safeway, man, they'd be offering you $20, $30 just to walk into the car.
Damn.
Bro, I'm telling you, I'm like, damn. But we weren't allowed to take the tips, man. So you had to like reject the tips. So, but that just shows you when you go above and beyond what hospitality, it's limitless of what you can perform. Because that's why I always said in my business, I focus on always responding to people within like 3 or 4 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
If you keep that response rate up, they can have the worst time ever. Like I've had bad reviews, but my communication was a 5. You know, they're like, but you can always reach them. That right there, I think that is what like, and if you look at most of like Airbnb, VRBO, like VRBO just made a new rule change too. We haven't talked about it. Everything is about, can a customer reach you if they need to reach you? Because VRBO just put the new rule out. If a guest is locked outside and they can't get in within the hour, you have to give them a full refund.
Ooh.
I was like, damn.
That's reasonable.
I agree. See, that's what I said. I agree. That's reasonable. I mean, if you don't have a backup situation, that's on you and how you're running your business, you know. Because I'm like, we just had a lockout situation. We got the guy in 5 minutes. Hey, there's another code on the door. There's the lock. Just use the key, get the key out of there and use it until we get the door fixed. You know, simple. But yeah, man, if you go above and beyond, you know, like Chick-fil-A can charge more. Safeway charges more for their groceries. They can do it because guess what? They have the hospitality. And I remember Brandon, he was talking about it. He goes, yeah, that hotel's way more expensive, but they treat me so good, I don't want to go nowhere else. Oh, yeah, man, that's always I still haven't read that book, but I want to read it.
You know, and when we go to Guadalajara,
yeah.
we stay at this outside of the city a little bit. We stay at this hotel. It's Sarah Hotel and Spa. It's called Sarah Hotel and Spa.
Did you podcast from there one time?
No, see, that was the Ryu. That was up there.
Oh, okay.
That was up there in Guadalajara, close to downtown. It's the huge building. It's a resort kind of. I mean, they do resorts all over the world, but this one's like just a smaller hotel right there, close to where her parents live. It's a nice hotel, you know, and a medium-sized town. It's not huge like Guadalajara, but it's a nice hotel in a nice town. They got a pool on the rooftop and all that. But they always provide us with excellent service, man. They're waiting on you tell them, hey, we need some ice to the room. They're in there like a couple minutes. They're there with the ice. You know what I'm saying? If y'all need anything, snacks, let us know. And and so they treat us good. And I still hadn't stayed at Airbnbs around there. And I look at the reviews in the Airbnbs, you know, and it's not a lot of people complaining about how the owner of the Airbnb. I guess it's a little different over there, and that when you go to Mexico or something,
it is.
Instead of here, you know, that people, yeah, there's my house, stay in it. I don't know what the hell, you know. Maybe it's like early days, like how we used to do things back in the day. But we're happy with this hotel. We love it. We love it. The kids love it, you know, and But and you brought up the Ryu. Well, we did a podcast, and they had I got to use the boardroom and stuff like that. So the first couple of times we went there, and they had this like little small room like that we could use if you get that little. Well, no, you sign up for that. I don't know, it's executive status or whatever their status thing is, right? And you get access to this small room downstairs that has like snacks, and it has like cold cuts, and it has beers and wine and coffees, you know, and you can sit there and chill out on the sofas and watch TV. And I'll try to make a long story shorter, but but like when you said that, I just automatically thought, man, I love that one, you know, that small one we go to, that small hotel we go to. The Ryu, the last time we went to that one, because I wanted to try it, you know, you get to see the whole city from like 33 stories up in the sky, you know, it's pretty cool. I asked, hey, you know, can we, you know, we want to use that room, whatever, and the lady at the door. Oh, I'm sorry, you have kids. You can't bring kids in here. Well, I'm this status. You know, I paid for this extra so I can get these perks, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, we just stopped letting kids come in here. It's like, what? You know, so they're going the opposite way. Yeah. They're going there, trying to take things away from guests. where the other one's giving more things to the guests, you know?
That right there, bro. I'm happy you said it because I mean that's how we started operating our business. Remember back in the day we wouldn't allow pets. Now I'm like midterm people need pets, so I got to go forward. Like, okay, yeah, pets, kids, I'm allowing all that.
Yeah, you hated
Go,
kids in the place in your
yeah,
places.
back in the day, yeah, bro. Straight
They're
up.
gonna tear that place up, man.
Straight up. Now, I understand, but now, okay, let me get more kid-friendly furniture that makes it a little bit easier. You know what I mean? You just change your business up to be more accommodating. It's funny you said that when we going backwards. That's all I was kind of talking about my damn job going back into the office, man. And the thing is, it came up after there was a big change up top. So we have a new director. So he's the one who called everyone back in. But those changes, it starts trickling down. And I'm like, I hope it doesn't affect morale, but I think it will. Just certain people, the morale change and having to change up your schedule. But yeah, man, the whole point of that is you always got to push forward. Just push forward, man. Try to find the new way. Pushing forward, you're going to learn something. You're going to learn how to operate in this new way we're pushing forward. If you're allowing kids, okay, how do we allow kids? Not say, oh, well, we're not allowing kids anymore. What happened? Fix the issue. Whatever happened. Because something happened. You know what I'm saying? Fix the issue. So.
Yeah. I mean, except for Karens, you really can't do nothing to please a Karen.
There's a lot of Karens, man. There's a lot of Karens out there, especially when it comes to short-term rentals. There's a lot of Karens out there.
So I asked you, with that new policy, with the Airbnb might, or that's going to put in place with the chargebacks are on you. I asked you, so, I mean, we've all got these. And when I told Mike Brown, he said, I just got one of those today. When someone at the last minute, either the day before or day of, say, hey, sorry, we have a death in the family and we have to cancel. Can you give us a full refund, please? They don't even say who died, right? They just expect a full refund. And then if you say, oh, there's a script that our VAs say, I'm terribly sorry for that. That you sympathize with them. He goes, please, here's a number to contact Airbnb and let them know, kind of push it off on them. Yeah. And then some of them will just go fucking ape shit. They'll just go on your ass, they'll go irate. What do you mean you're not going to give me, they just start going crazy. And it's that deal, right? Yeah. So my thing to you, I mean, maybe not all of them, maybe some of them are legit. I don't know. But the whole thing, we got to assume we can't just, someone's going to book our place for like 7 days for, $3,000 or $4,000, it just say, hey, I got a death in the family. We're supposed to give them all their money back, but we couldn't book it that whole time. That's the whole thing on our end, right? Yeah. We're going to lose out all that money, and then it's going to be hard to get that booked last minute. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you see it from both sides. But anyways, that's what traveler's insurance is for too. But anyways, my question to you is like, so people that do that and get pissed up at us, they can just go and do a chargeback on their credit card, and then we'll lose all that money anyways.
That's what I've been hearing. So I need to verify fully on that, but that's what I've been hearing too. So that'll be crazy, bro. I'm going to be honest. That's why I think it's dangerous to accept midterms through Airbnb. And I've kind of always kind of hinted at that. Like, if you're taking midterms through Airbnb, you're putting your business at a huge risk, because if they can just say whatever, get all the money taken back, bro, it's like, it's a risk. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd be careful with it. Like, try to get direct. Like I tell people, when you're in the midterm rental space, you want to be people directly to you. I have not, in the last, I'll say probably the last 4 or 5 months, with most of my places being booked midterm, I've had 2 Airbnb reservations. I'm happy about it. You know what, though? Honestly, and this is another thing. You should really cater your place to guests that don't ask for refunds. You know who that is? Midterm construction workers don't ask for refunds. If you want every time midterm construction workers. So there was this dude. He was in Sean's group. And he posted something, people got mad because it had some stereotype stuff in it. He was like, hey, man. He posted it, but I was like, I got on the post too, because I agree with some of the stuff he said. He was like, is there a certain group of people that are on Airbnb? He said a certain race or ethnic group of people that always ask for refunds. And everyone was like, "Well, who are you talking about?" And we found out who he was talking about. He eventually said who it was. He was talking about some Indian people, right? And then this guy gets on there and he goes, "I'm gonna be honest," and he posted every single thing he noticed about every demographic of people that came to his places. He goes, and he was a white dude. He was being honest, and I liked it because he was being honest. He said, if you get the younger black crowd, they're usually going to throw parties. If you get um, he said the younger college kids, they might not throw a party, but they're going to have a get together and leave a bunch of crap. He goes, but honestly, my worst guest ever is a white woman from California because they're going to be a Karen. But he kept it a buck. And he kept it a buck. He said that's the worst guest I've ever had. He goes, I'd rather clean up after a party than have to fight with you about every single nitpick that you want to pick out and then try to get a refund. I was like, I can see that. Because let's say somebody messes up your place. Let's say they trash your place where you can't book it. There's insurance to cover it. There's Airbnb reimbursement to cover it. There's things you can fix. But somebody you got to sit here and fight with and you're trying to act like, oh, this happened. That's more of a headache, right? So that goes back into pumpkin planning your business. What's the type of guest I want? That's like the best thing is what type of guest I want. These midterms I got through VRBO, man, they've been great. If something doesn't work, they let us know. But they're busy. They have to work. They got work to do, and they got stuff to do. But like, man, midterm professionals like who are going out doing construction or whatever they're doing, those are the better guests. Straight up, those have been the best guests.
Yeah, those guys are awesome. I love the construction bookings.
Dude, it works every time, bro. Like they'll
complain. extend and extend and extend. Never lower your rates while there's a construction team still there. Don't lower your rates till they're gone.
Straight up, bro. They extended today. That's why when you said it, they extended today. Like, hey man, can we extend for 2 more days? They're like, oh man. And then hopefully tomorrow they're like, hey, we need another week. The project got put. Cool. Yeah.
If anyone knows how to drag a project out, it's construction people.
Straight up, man.
Because why kill the golden goose, man? Oh yeah, we'll finish in a month. No worries, we'll finish in a month. Something came up.
Yeah,
we got to redo the plumbing, man. Sorry.
Straight up, man. Straight up. So he's telling y'all now, man. Like, know what guest brings you the most joy and is the easiest to deal with. You know what I mean? Some people are good at dealing with Karens. I ain't. And knock on wood, it's been a while since I done dealt with a Karen.
I'll tell you something real quick. Okay. At one of my places in Fort Worth, a dude booked. A young brother, and I let my team handle everything, right? I let my team handle everything. This guy came with like 3 good reviews. Like I said, I wouldn't even, I saw it come through one day, but here's the thing. The photo was a little bit thuggish, ruggish. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I was like, it caused me to think, but I was like, like I said, I let my team handle it. They make sure he's, what's he here for, this and that. And going back and looking at the booking after the fact, after this thing happens, then I'm like, oh, there's red flags everywhere, and it's a learning lesson for my team.
I have a question about that. Keep going, because I have a question about that.
So, anyways, he was extending out, asking for discount, extending out, asking for discount. You know what I'm saying? It started like a 5-day booking. He started adding a couple days. Card didn't go through. Tried to extend out. Oh, can y'all give me a break on the, give me a discount. And like I said, I let my team handle these things, right? I try not to be a micromanager. And so day 10 happened, right? Day 10. And then he's all saying, oh, can you give me this rate? And sir, we can't give you that rate. That's like, $50 a day. We can't do that. That's too low, Yeah. And he goes, it's past your checkout time and you haven't extended. So you have to book a new booking and we'll wait for you to book a new booking. Radio silence. We don't hear from him anymore. His phone number don't work. You don't receive texts or calls. It don't work. And he's just not responding to us. And of course, I happened to be at my day job at the time. So I can't go all the way across town over there. And then my cleaners happen to be over there in Grand Prairie, so they can't go back to Fort. I'm like, I need to get eyes. And my camera just happens to be dead at the time. My Ring doorbell camera's dead. So I don't know if this guy's there or not, but I'm assuming he is. The way that he went off, he said, "Oh," and then he started, talking all ghetto and shit. "Oh, y'all acting like fools." He started saying, as soon as he started throwing away throwing around the ghetto, I was like, "Oh crap, this is gonna be an issue." So I sent shout out to Craig Swan. If you're in the Dallas area, private security, Craig Swan, hit him up. Hit me up if you need his info. I don't have it on me right now. But anyways, they went out there and they got him out, handled it. I went over there after work and changed the door. It's the apartment. The apartments come with the lock, so I had to go change the door code on there on the apartment lock, right? And I was talking to him, and it was funny. I asked the dude, and these guys, they dress up, look like just like cops. They got all the stuff all over them, the walkie talkies, the gun. They got this mace. They got you look at this guy as a cop, right? Yeah. Big brother. And I was like, well, what did that guy say? What did he say? He said, a whole lot of nothing. He just real serious and shit. I was like, okay, I gotta make a small talk while I'm changing the lockout. And so, anyways, cost $150 to get him out, right? 150, and that's way better than an eviction, right? And so, or missing bookings and all that shit too. But and they did a great job, $150. And so we sent that to Airbnb. We sent out, the fee for the late checkout and all that shit. And Airbnb denied it. They denied paying out. And we're like, listen, this guy, he's looking to squat somewhere. It's we've seen this before. He's looking to stay somewhere until you kick him out. And he's like, well, send us the video footage. I'm like, well, the ring was dead at the moment, what I'm saying? And they're like, well, without the footage. I say, you saw the messages coming through. He's calling us names and this and that. And then his phone don't work. He don't have a working phone number. And then he stopped answering us. You saw this coming through way past checkout time, right? And they still denied it. And so, my bad on the end of the not having the camera charge, okay, I understand that. But still, this guy's going to still be able to book Airbnbs, and he's going to pull this over on someone else too. He's going to, and he gets a weak one. He's going to, I told him, as soon as I saw that crap happening at the end, I was like, do not let this guy extend. Do not let this guy rebook, because I know what he's trying to do. He's going to try to get past that 30-day mark, and he's going to try to squat somewhere, right? Mm-hmm. And he did have a record. I looked him up, and he had a record. And so, yeah, Airbnb's, there's criminals on Airbnb, even though they say they're checking people. Yeah,
they kicked a friend of mine off because he had a record. Wow, Airbnb. I'm telling you, bro, Airbnb knows something. They think that short-term rental space is taking a hit. Go ahead, though.
Anyway, yeah. So we're just telling Airbnb, listen, you just know that this guy is a squatter. All right. Yeah. He's trying to squat somewhere or bully people into dropping their prices while he's staying with them, whatever. And then he's on to the next person. And y'all aren't going to stop this. No. And so let that be a warning to all you people operating out there. See the warning signs. If someone's there and they're trying to extend out, or their card's not working, or they start complaining about price, or they start complaining about your place. Oh, it's crawling with bugs. It's this and that. This don't work. They start saying all that crap, right? Yeah. Their thing is to make you the bad guy, right? Yeah. And a lot of people get bullied into, oh, I'll just give you a discount. Okay, you can extend out for $50 a night or whatever. Do not let them. Get them out as soon as you can. And if they refuse to leave, don't call the cops. The cops ain't gonna do a damn thing. Call private security. I'm sure there's private security in your area that's become. And that's the thing with that guy, the private security guy. He's like, I was like, oh, it was just like a normal thing. How'd you get him out, man? He's like, yeah. He goes, man, that's what we do. I was like, he said, y'all do that? Y'all stay busy doing that? Yeah, this is all we do now is get people out of Airbnbs. I was like, dang,
it's a business behind it, bro. Imagine that, bro. Imagine a business. I know they making bank doing that, bro. Like, hey, man, you got to get up out of here, bro. Imagine you, a big 6-foot dude, show up at a door with a gun. Bro, like, imagine if you had him for the other dude.
Yes. I wish I did.
He would have got that dude up out of there, man. It's time to go, bro. You ain't got to go home. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here.
I'll live and learn. So they're 2-0 for me so far.
Damn.
2-0. They got the crazy white lady out with all her kids, out of one
Damn.
thing. So, and
They
they got
getting
this
white. They getting white people out too. Damn. One of
They
those
help.
episodes, man. One
What
of
is
those
it?
episodes.
So that's the thing that's scary about Airbnb. They will not help you in squatter situations at all. It's on you to get that
Damn, bro.
house. They'll put them in
Straight
there.
up.
They'll put them in
Yeah.
there, no problem. They get their money, but they're not going to help you get them out for not 1 cent, man. They're not going to give
Nah,
you
bro.
nothing.
You know what's
You get
crazy?
that message from Airbnb. Oh, their card didn't go through. If you want to kick them out, you can cancel their reservation. But it's up to you to get them out.
That's crazy. Yeah, bro. That's why insurance is the only thing that will protect you and some private security. Now, you brought up something very important with that story. You said your team let this person stay. Now, is your team mainly in America?
No, Philippines. Mostly.
Okay, now that's my team too. So this is my question, because this is a struggle I have. How are you going about teaching them the customs of the U.S. when it comes to like cultural behavior? Because now, for real, the reason why I asked that is if you would have looked at the messages and seen them, you understand American culture. You know, all right, I'm denying this.
Yeah.
They will let them stay. They can't catch it. Well, how are you training that? And this is for everybody out there, because if anybody wants to answer this question, like email us. I want y'all to email us, because that is one thing I've kind of struggled with.
All right. Like for that incident in particular, he had good reviews, right? To book the place initially. He had the good reviews, 5-star reviews. If you dug deeper into it, you'll see that 2 of the reviews were from the same place he stayed at like 2 months in a row. And they were automated reviews. They're like, great guest, have him back anytime. Great guest, have him back. It was the same exact words. So whoever that host was, they just had automation send a review. So you can't really tell with that one. And if he stayed 2 different bookings back to back at the same place in Houston, you know what I'm saying? He probably was doing that same shit to that guy. Yeah. And then he went on to the next person, and then the third person left a review, great guess, whatever. And so he had his 5-star reviews. And so on that merit, okay, it seems like safe to book. But when you look at the photo, I said, look, that's not a very professional photo. He has his hat on, all he's doing some stupid shit in the can. I'm like yeah, the thuggish ruggish, and I'm like, at least look semi-professional. When you're taking a profile picture, you want people to let you in their Airbnbs, Yeah. Not racism, not anything. Even, Mexican, whoever you are, you're going to have your hat off, after doing stupid shit that's a red flag right there. It means you don't give a damn about yourself or your appearance to where you're going to stay at, right?
Etiquette. Yeah.
Yeah. And so there's that. And then the other training part of it is, say, once they start, wanting to extend and then complaining about stuff and wanting a cheaper price, no discounts. That's the price. Your card didn't go through once. No, we're not going to play that song and dance. No, you got to go. You got to go. Pay full price, get that card sorted out, or you got to leave.
Yeah. So, how are they starting to understand it, or kind of? It's like, because you said if all the reviews match up, that's kind of what they kind of can go off of. But like how me and you were looking at it, we looking at the picture, we looking at, okay, these reviews come from the same person. Is there a way to teach that?
It's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question. Be profiling folks, right?
I don't want to see. And you know what though? This is the crazy part. I don't want to tell them to profile people, but it's certain things are cultural American culture that we know to say yes or no to. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And I don't know how you would teach that to like a VA.
Now, here's a strange part of the story. I said this is a red flag at the beginning, because he said yeah, they're gonna come. The pest control is gonna come to my house and treat my house, and so I need a place to stay for a week. What pest control company tells you to leave your house for a damn week? There's not people that could just take a 7-day vacation for getting their house sprayed. First of all, most of the time when they come and spray your house, you could be there, no problem.
Yeah.
Now, if they're gonna set off some bombs in your house or something like that, they say 4
hours. Yeah, a few hours.
Who says 7 freaking days for a pest control treatment?
Well, I got bed bugs, or what you got going on, bro? I would have asked them.
See, yeah, we would have asked. Why
Yeah,
so
yeah.
long? You know,
See,
I'm-
okay.
yeah.
This is a good thing too, though. This is another thing I could kind of see on how to train them. So like, I do have um, I have my VAs ask, "What's your reason for coming?" Where you could use AI at is tell them like if they don't really know cultural stuff, like ChatGPT would have asked that. Like, why are you taking so long to, what's taking 7 days? What kind of press control are you getting done? You could set it up to be like, hey, ask them in a friendly tone. So yeah, it's a few things I'm starting to wonder, like with, I don't know, could AI I think they could, but could you see AI eventually just replacing VAs as far as cultural norms?
I don't know, man, because I don't know.
Because that's been a struggle, man. Like cultural norms, like understanding certain cultural ticks that you would say no to,
Yeah.
but they wouldn't. They're like, well, he has good reviews. So I don't know, man. That's one thing I've been kind of struggling with.
If his name's Big X the Plug.
Oh, bro, I was gonna tell you. You know who Big X the Plug is, right?
You told me he's like a big time rapper.
That's probably the biggest rapper in Texas.
Really?
Probably in the rap industry.
No shit.
Yeah, I'm the biggest, the largest. He's the one he had the playoff song. That was him. Yeah, I'm the biggest. That's Big X the Plug. That's why when you said Big X the Plug, I would have been like, bro, just play an extra cleaning fee and I'll let you book this and put it on your Instagram.
What?
Yes, he's like the biggest rapper out there. That's why I was like, Big X the Plug tried to book your shit.
Well, here's the thing.
Man. Okay.
So it's a house that we manage in Cedar Hill, right?
Oh yeah, Cedar Hill's gonna track that.
It's in this part of Cedar Hill. It's like kind of like a farm kind of community.
It's all black out there, bro.
Yeah. Well, it's like a older house, and it's got like a big parking area. You could fit RVs and shit under there.
Yep.
And it's got like a whole acre back, 2 acres. It's 2 acres deep, man. You're looking forever at the end of the yard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he wanted to rent it, or his publicist called us, right? And this is back when we had it on PeerSpace. He said, "Hey, I represent this rapper, Big X the Plug, and they want to rent this place out, and they want to do this music video, like a Snoop Dogg style. What's the one where all the cars are hopping? And back in the day,
Gin and Juice.
yeah, when they're out
and
and they're in the picnics outside, all the families are together.
Yeah. Okay.
Gin and Juice came to mind. Gin and Juice laid. Yeah, it was one of those
Yeah.
classics. And he goes, we want to do something like that. All the families there and having a barbecue and all this stuff. And I ran it past the owner, and he's a black dude. He owns the house.
He probably said no. Huh?
He was like, "Do you think it's a good idea?" And we just took over this house, man. I'm like, man, I don't want to get the cops called on his house day one. We're managing this thing, we had to tell him no. We said, nah, we really can't do it.
Oh,
they reached out again like a month or so later and asked again. I was like, man, we can't do it, man. Sorry, and they're gonna. So yeah,
I didn't know it was Big X the Plug, man. I listen to him while I'm in the gym, man. You can pump out an extra set to Big X. I'm like, dang, bro. Yeah, because when you sent me the picture, I'm like, Big X the Plug wanted to book it. I'm like,
yeah,
dang.
he wanted.
Yeah, that's like the #1 rapper out of Texas right now, bro, and probably out there. He's damn good. He has some good ass music. Like, he can rap, man.
He got busted for
marijuana in Arlington.
Oh wow!
In Arlington,
and weapon possession or something.
Yeah, that's the only thing. If he got to stay out of trouble, but he usually isn't the trouble type. But yeah, bro, he's
all smiling in the picture too. He's all cheesing.
Yeah, he knew he was getting out.
It's street cred right here. This is my brands.
Yeah. So damn, when you sent me the picture, I'm like, Big X the Plug tried to fuck. I was like, damn, bro. But yeah, Cedar Hill. That's the only thing about Cedar Hill, because you got them big ass houses out there. Because you know who lives out in Cedar Hill? Like Jerry Rice has a house out there.
Jerry Rice.
Hell yeah, Jerry Rice has a house out there.
Is he from here or what? What's
a lot of them football players have houses out there, bro. I don't know why.
Oh, Dion and them, yeah.
I don't know if Dion.
Well, he coached at Cedar Hill, right?
I thought it was up in Prosper.
Oh, is it Prosper? Okay.
Yeah, Dion has a house in Prosper, I know. And then Michael Crabtree has a house out there. The guy from Tyler Perry's show, Meet the Browns, that big ass one on the hill, the big one on the hill, like looks like a round one. That's his house. So yeah, bro, it's like, yeah, it's money in Cedar Hill, bro. So I understand why he probably was like, man, no, I can't have y'all over here. They thinking we turning this into South Dallas, man. Y'all, y'all over here. So I understand the brother. He probably like, man, hell no, you better get out of here with that shit. But damn, I didn't
Shout
know.
out to Big X. Shout out to Big X.
Yeah, shout out to Big X. Yeah, he's the one who sings. I'm from Texas. When the Rangers won the thing, the
World Series,
and everybody was in Dallas, had the Texas song playing. Bitch, I'm from Texas. That's Big X the plug, man. That's crazy. I didn't know that was that you had Big X trying to book. That's crazy.
Well, this is a fun show, Myka. We've going at it for a long time, like an hour and a half. Man.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. It's been a while.
But salut. Yeah, it was a fun episode. Have one of these again. It's funny that you had a drink and I had a drink. Cool.
Straight up.
So where can people find us, Myka?
Man, you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all that stuff. Send us an email, liveletthrive@gmail.com, man. We went over time, but it was fun, and we hope y'all learned something, about marketing and all that good stuff and how to run your business.
Yeah, and a new rapper you want to add to your Spotify list. So there you go.
Yeah, Big X. So yeah, man. Yeah, thank y'all for continuing to listen to us. And man, we got to start holding some events again. We got to get some events on the board.
Oh, yeah.
I was looking at some of the old pictures from 2021. I was like, dang, we had like a whole room of people, man. And I was like, and some of those people I still talk to today. So we got to get some events going.
Heck yeah. LLT back.
Straight up, man.
All right, man. We'll see you on the flip.
Peace.
Later.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live, Let, Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye-bye.